Now let's talk about the main function. So we have a function in C++ called main function where the program execution starts. So always a C++ program execution starts from main function, which means that what all things we want to make our computer do, we should be defining that inside this main function. So I am writing the main function, and the syntax for writing the main function is int main bracket open close, then open the parenthesis or the curly brackets. Now what all things you write inside these curly braces, that all things will be executed by the CPP compiler. So you will be worrying what is compiler. So that in a small definition I can give you. Compiler is the way where our programming code is converted into computer's native language. So computer is not a human being, it's a electronic device. All the things the computer want to understand should be in a format which it is meant to understand. Like if I only know English language and if somebody is talking to me in Spanish, I won't be understanding anything. Similarly, computer only knows one language called machine language. It won't understand anything apart from that. So in order to make computer understand, we will be using machine language because it's the native language of the computer. So this language is called high level language. All the programming languages like C, C++, Java, everything is called high level language. These are the language which we understand so that we can write programs or instructions which can be used for creating tasks for which are meant to be executed by the computer. But in the case of high level languages, when we give the high level languages directly to computer, it won't understand a thing. So in order to make the high level languages more understandable for a computer, we will do a process called compilation, and compilation is done by a software called compiler. So these we will be using a kind of commands to create the compilation process. So that's about compilation. What all things we write in the C++ language, we need to convert it in a language that computer understand. So that process is done by a software called compiler, and that process is called compilation. So I will be using this term again and again, and we will be seeing compilation throughout the program. So once the compilation is starting and we start to run the program, all the things written inside these curly braces or the main function will be executed by the computer. So let's write our first statement: cout hello world, and we put a semicolon at the end of the statement. This is because all the C++ programming statements except some statements will be ending with semicolons. So these are all the statements in C++, and these statements will always end with a semicolon. So cout is a command or a function which will be helping the users to print the values which is given in a cout statement. So the syntax for using cout is you have to use the cout keyword, then you have to use this two symbols which is the greater than symbols to are pointing towards the hello world. So which means we will be printing this statement. So this is called the stream insertion operator, which will put the data to the standard output device, which is the monitor. So what all things you write with cout keyword and then putting this stream insertion keyword or symbol, that will be put to the monitor or standard output device in the system. So this is the in output statement for printing hello world. Then we will be writing return 0. So why we will be writing return 0 is like we have used main function with integer prototyping. So that's why we are using return 0. So you will be wondering what is prototyping, what is return statement, everything. So that we will cover in the module called functions. For now, we will be writing our first and basic C++ programming program, and you need not to worry about all these statements, meaning and all. So just see, this is the basic structure of a C++ program. So now we can start running and executing the program. So first of all, like I've said, this program is in a language which we understand, because it's in a language that seems like computer should understand, but it's only a language which is meant more easier for us to understand. So what we need to do is, like, we need to convert this language, this program, in a statements which computer can understand, or the machine language. So we need to compile this program. So what we do to compile this program is, first of all, I think you are familiar with some of the Linux commands. My location of this particular program is desktop. So inside my terminal, I will be navigating to desktop. Then now I need to compile this file, so that it will be, these instructions can be converted into machine instructions. So I will be compiling this program by writing a command called g++, which is the compilation command which we will use inside Linux or Mac OS. So Windows, it's kind of different, so you can refer to the manual for Windows for compiling the program. It's available with the here. C++ compiler tutorials are available on the Visual Studio Code. So g++ is the command. Then I have to write the file name hello world.cpp. So what happens when I press enter in this particular command is, the g++ is the compiler used by the system. It will compile my file hello world C++ into a meaningful program. So let's hit enter. So you don't see any kind of commands over here, any kind of warnings or errors over here. You can just see a blank next line coming up. That means your program is compiled successfully. You don't have any errors. So let's see what happens if my program have some kind of errors. That also we can see in this tutorial. So I am replacing this semicolon and saving the program, and I am again writing the compilation statement over here, g++ hello world.cpp, and pressing the enter. So now you can see the exact error. I said there should be a semicolon after the end of the program, and here I didn't put the semicolon. So what happened? The program threw an error and the compilation was failed. So in order to make this successful, I am putting the semicolon again, saving the program again, and running the compilation call or the statement. Now it's again compiled successfully. So after the compilation, we will get an executable file in our system. So you can see over here, there is a file created called a.out, which was not there previously. So this is the compiled result of the program. So this is the executable file. Now we need to execute the program. So our program was created in CPP. We have compiled it, and we have created an executable file which computer can understand. So if I try to open this executable file in some kind of text editors, you will be getting the idea like what it will be looking like. So I will just open it in some sort of program. Let's go with the text editor, and I am opening that. See, here we have a lot of things, but we don't understand anything. This means this is the actual compiled version of our program. It's not in the sense which we understand, because it's something else. It's something understandable only to the computer. So we need not to worry about this. What we can do is, like, we can execute this file. So to execute this a.out, which is the result of my compiled hello world.cpp, I have a command. Let's go to that command, ./a.out. So my file name of the compiled file name is a.out, and I am writing / to execute that one, and I am pressing enter. So now you can see hello world over here. which is the result of my program. So you can see how many statements we have written over here in our particular programming language C++ in order to just print a hello world in the console. So think about the large programs in the or the softwares in the market or the Play Store or even the system or the computer which we use. How many lines it should probably have to create such a complex program, right? So that is one thing which you have to think, and this is how we execute a C++ program. So pretty much in this module we have covered our topics. We discussed the basic understanding of programming, what is programming, and we also discussed the peculiarities of programming languages, C++, and also we have seen how to write a basic C++ program, how to run or how to compile it. So I hope this unit you have understood pretty much everything, and I suppose you should have some confusions here and there because it should be there, because this is just an introductory section, and moving further we will be learning much more about this programming language, and we will be understanding why we will be using all these things, and we will be understanding more concepts which we discussed in just a small portion or like in a summary here in this unit, more in depth in coming units, so you will be able to understand more things.